NBA 2K26 is around the corner, and recently we got a cover reveal and details about the upcoming game. Of course, no gameplay has been shown yet, but in the usual 2K fashion, they're already asking for pre-orders. NBA 2K25 was yet another underwhelming title for the series, adding to 2K's regression over the last decade. As microtransactions get worse each year in 2K, gameplay also seems to be regressing, along with graphical fidelity too. My most viewed video this year is a graphical comparison between NBA 2K25 and NBA 2K14, and in most areas, NBA 2K14 actually looks better visually, which is really strange. 2K25's gameplay, with the new AI-powered Pro Play, seemed decent at first, but slow. However, the more I played it, the more I started to hate it. I gave 2K25 a 5 out of 10 review, claiming it was better than 2K24 because of the improvements to gameplay, and while 2K24 didn't exactly play well either, I'm starting to think I was too kind towards 2K25 in that review. While the signature animations looked realistic and the game felt more sim than usual, driving to the basket or making quick and shifty dribble moves felt worse than ever before. You see guys in the NBA, like Anthony Edwards or Steph Curry, fly around the court and make quick layups and dribble moves, yet movement in 2K25 feels so slow. Everyone moves like DeAndre Jordan down the floor. I tried starting a MyNBA franchise with the Super Team Heat back in the 2010s because I love the idea of going back in time and changing history. It's a great concept, and it's something only NBA 2K is doing. But the execution of the mode is not great. I released a video about how broken MyNBA is as a game mode that you can check out for more details there, but what really got me to delete the game was the gameplay. I'm playing with the Miami Heat with LeBron, Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh all in their prime, and it feels like I'm controlling a team of role players. Maybe I'm just rusty at the game since I haven't played competitively online since 2K23, so I went back and tried playing NBA 2K14 again, a game from 12 years ago. And what do you know, top players like LeBron and Wade can dominate, make contested shots, fly down the lane and slam the ball down, and can move and dribble in a fluid, fun fashion. I then tried out 2K15, and I noticed that this was when 2K's gameplay really started to shift. The fluidity and randomness was replaced by easier to see moves and animations that made more sense for a predictable online game, but no longer give the player movement that dominant, uncertain, exciting feeling to a degree. It's obviously not nearly as bad as where we're at today, and 2K15 still has pretty good gameplay overall. But that shift from 2K14 to 2K15 really felt like a turning point towards online competitive play when I go back now. Combined with the immediate graphics and lighting regression in 2K15, I'm starting to think that 2K14 was truly the peak of NBA 2K as a series in terms of gameplay fluidity and visuals. 2K15 is a deeper game with improved presentation, but gameplay and visuals both seem to take a step back in my opinion, and we never got back to 2K14's level. It's just odd that I'm finding more enjoyment with the gameplay of 2K14 and 15 than I am with 25, despite pro play, despite way more animations and possible dribble moves, despite 4K visuals, and despite the My Eras feature in MyNBA. Not even the addition of go-kart racing could keep me hooked. We really are living in the worst period in sports gaming history. That is not hyperbole. I think 2K is focused so much on making NBA 2K an online, pay-to-win competitive basketball game that they forgot why most casual players even pick up 2K in the first place. They want to hop in a quick game with their favorite NBA stars and get highlights with them. The casual crowd isn't making 4 different builds for the park or grinding my team. They do play now and maybe dabble with MyCareer Story and MyNBA. All major sports games seem to have abandoned these casual players for the competitive online money spender. If I can't hit shots at a high percentage on a medium difficulty against the CPU with a player like Jokic or LeBron, and I can't blow past a defender and posterize someone as Anthony Edwards, I'm going to get frustrated and play something else. When the skill gap is too high for online play, casual play suffers. When you can't make a shot without hitting a perfect release, you lose that casual audience. Gameplay can be as complex as ever, but it has to be accessible, fluid, and fun. Hop on 2K14, do a crossover with Kobe, sprint to the baseline and attempt a fadeaway mid-range jumper. Splash. Try that in 2K25, you'll likely brick the shot because the game penalizes you for all that movement, even though that's what a 95 overall player like a Kobe Bryant should be capable of. In 2K14, try a dribble move and then blow past your man and hold square while sprinting to the basket. You might get an insane dunk or layup animation, or you might get stopped. It's not exactly super predictable, but that makes it fun and unexpected, and it all happens so fast, which you'd expect from the best athletes in the world. In the new games, you see a green splash animation before the ball gets near the hoop, letting you know the shot is falling in, eliminating that intoxicating anticipation of watching a shot fall. In 2K25, the magic of a shot like Kawhi's game winner from a few years ago against the Sixers would be gone because you'd know you made the shot right as it leaves your hands. In real life, sometimes a shot falls that you didn't expect to fall. Players run to the hoop after a shot for a potential rebound, only for the shot to fall anyways. Sometimes a player chucks up a heavily contested shot and it goes in anyways. Players can usually make a layup with someone in front of them, especially if they have a high rating. But in NBA 2K25, none of what I just said is possible. This is no longer basketball, but a basketball-themed online competition. And it's not even great at doing so, considering the online glitches and cheese players can run. In the end, nobody is satisfied. So with 2K26 announced, I'm just not that excited, but I would love to be surprised by a quality title, or at least a step back towards 2K being a top sports game again. But for a decade now, NBA 2K games have shifted more and more towards where we are today. Predictable, slow, boring grind fests, begging you to spend more money despite the game releasing at full price. I find it sad because I used to get really hyped for new 2K releases, but it's been a while since then. Let's start with the 2K26 cover. What are we doing, man? This started with NBA 2K25, where the words NBA were removed from the logo. Now it's just the NBA logo and 2K20 whatever. The visual isn't even anything that takes effort, it's just a regular image of the cover athlete, in this case Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, with some blur around them. In an era where many companies and graphic designers are shifting away from 2010's minimalism, it feels strange to see 2K commit to it this late after so many great covers over the years. Those red covers were fire, and even recent covers like these, for example, look cool. We got a trailer for the game, but it's just a quick half-minute teaser showing no actual gameplay, asking for pre-orders at the end, of course. We have just 3 screenshots to show you what the game looks like. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Angel Reese, and Carmelo Anthony, the 3 cover athletes for the varying editions. If you told me these screenshots were from 2K21, I'd believe you, outside of the fact that Angel Reese wasn't in the WNBA yet. The graphics are detailed and high definition, but they lack style. They lack photorealism. Look at NBA 2K14, just how good that lighting was. In 2K25, and based on these images of 2K26, the game looks flat, dull, rubberized, and sanitized, with a lot of sweat as usual. We've reached a point where NBA 2K's graphical quality has stagnated, and some would argue it's peaked. But you don't play the game zoomed in like this. You don't see that sweat in gameplay. From the gameplay camera perspective, somehow NBA 2K14 looks better than 2K25, because they actually went to each arena to perfectly replicate lighting sources to create the most authentic looking representations of these arenas. In 2K15 they stopped doing that, and never tried it again. Perhaps it took too many resources, but on a PS5, I find it hard to believe they can't match the lighting of 2K14 with modern details. There used to be a time where these screenshots would be mind-blowing, and every year showed a significant step up. Now all sports games, not just 2K, seem to operate as if they've peaked on current tech, yet historic evidence of older titles says otherwise. I've been asking for an offline MyCareer for a while now. Why should someone who only plays the story in their offline NBA games be subjected to creating a 60 overall player with heavy nerfs for online balance? There should be an offline MyCareer option where you can make a 99 overall rookie and destroy the league because you're offline. But obviously 2K would rather force their player base to drop money on VC to make sure your player is good, even if you just play offline and drop $70 on the game. It's absurd. Sure, you can make a player in MyNBA and use a player-locked camera, but it's not the same as MyCareer with the way the mode presents your career, your stats, your house, your story, etc. MyNBA, as I touched on in that video I mentioned earlier, is broken. CPU teams make dumb decisions constantly, breaking the mode after a few seasons, and a lot of these issues could be fixed with small tweaks. Yet 2K has left this mode untouched at its core for so long that issues stemming from the My League era are still present. While they've added some new features to the mode over the years, they haven't tweaked a thing under the hood, resulting in the same annoying bugs and issues every year. I'd love to see this fixed in 2K26, but we'll see. If player movement and shooting are closer to 2K23, then the game should be much better than the last two. But is this where we are with NBA 2K now? Hoping this is the year gameplay reverts back to how it used to be, only for it to flip back the other way the next year? Like every other major sports game, NBA 2K seems to be more about tweaking the online meta rather than genuinely improving and innovating their game. There is no more vision or creativity that I can see. I shouldn't get a better experience playing NBA 2K14 or 15, games from over a decade ago. It's tough not to get jaded with sports gaming, because if you were around for 2K's prime, you know it was special. From NBA 2K10 through 2K16, the game was just fantastic. And as I said before, my current position is that it peaked with 2K14 in terms of gameplay and visuals. NBA 2K11 or 12 are basically tied for being my favorite NBA games ever made. I don't want to be negative in every video, but when I'm covering modern sports games and they happen to be this underwhelming, it's hard not to be. Now, there's nothing special about NBA 2K. Since 2K19, every release has felt like a disappointment. It literally is just a roster update, with frustrating gameplay tweaks each year. I hope 2K26 is different. I hope it restores hope and faith in 2K. But I don't think it will. If the game sells regardless since it has no competition, why should 2K bother? We need more passion for sports at the top of these sports game companies, and obviously we need competition. They're missing soul, yet these games used to have it. Anyways, stay tuned for my review of NBA 2K26, and I've been working on a documentary on the fall of NBA 2K in the background, but decided to quickly drop this after 2K26 was officially revealed. Let me know in the comments if that documentary would make more sense before or after 2K26's release. Thanks for watching.